Hey guys, time for News Dump.
Yeah, so you've almost certainly been getting a lot of emails recently regarding updates to privacy policy or improvements to privacy policy, something along those lines. And you might be wondering what the hell's going on and why all those websites that you've visited or mailing lists that you've mistakenly signed up for in the past are all destroying your inbox with these updates on a minute-to-minute basis. It's become so prevalent that it's become somewhat of a meme online, quickly replacing the stupid audio quiz between whether you're hearing Yanny or Laurel, and only temporarily offsetting Reddit's pointless quest to make concrete slabs the next big thing to fill your timeline for literally no reason.
Well, it's time to put that confusion to rest because we're going to explain what's going on since you most likely decided to ignore every email you've received regarding these privacy policy things in favor of doing literally anything else with your time. Your time is very important, I'm sure. So what's going on, why is this happening, and whose fault is it? Well, the reason that you've seen an influx of these emails over the past few days is because of a new law called GDPR, which stands for General Data Protection Regulation, and its main focus is giving you, the user, more control over your personal data and how the websites you use on a daily basis can or can't use it. Within the law, websites had until May 25th to alert their users of the changes in policy. Obviously, they'd all want to wait until the last possible second to send these out, which resulted in the tidal wave of emails this past week.
GDPR was passed specifically for the European Union because, they're a bit more on the ball when it comes to your privacy online, which is something we've talked about at length on previous episodes of Tech News Day. The reason people here in the States are getting these emails as well is because the internet doesn't really have borders, so any website that has visitors who reside in the EU has to send out these notifications to everyone regardless of where they live. ZDNet.com has a great write-up regarding what these policy changes actually mean, and the best explanation within their article reads, "Data breaches inevitably happen. Information gets lost, stolen, or otherwise released into the hands of people who were never intended to see it, and those people often have malicious intent. Under the terms of GDPR, not only will organizations have to ensure that personal data is gathered legally and under strict conditions, but those who collect and manage it will be obliged to protect it from misuse and exploitation, as well as to respect the rights of data owners or face penalties not doing so."
Facebook and Google already on the hook for billions, apparently. Day one.
You know who's not even going to bother? Trunk.
Oh yeah, no, Trunk was like, no, we're shutting our website down.
You want to read the LA Times in Europe? Well, you
Too
can't.
bad. There is a handy Explain Like I'm 5 post that breaks the law down into simple terms as to what companies will have to abide to by now to become compliant. Don't store personal data or unique identifiers that link to personal data in GA, e.g. don't store emails or customer IDs. If you want customer-specific tracking, hash your customer IDs. You require affirmative consent before saving any tracking cookies, e.g. Google Analytics or any personal data. This has been going on for a while there. You have to, any website you go to, you have to acknowledge cookies every time.
Yeah.
You're required
fat off all these cookies.
I know. You're required to remove any personal data from your database upon request. If your company has more than 250 employees or deals with sensitive personal data, ethnic group, medical data, sexuality, some other things, you require a privacy officer. You are only allowed storing data that's directly relevant to your business activities. So,
Privacy officer, reporting for duty.
but not, a lot less cool than the space officers we're hopefully getting one day. Yeah.
Aside from all the emails you're getting, which is probably really annoying, this is actually a good thing because sites having to abide by these rules in the EU will potentially help out here in the States as well, although it will be harder for us to go after tech companies who do shady shit with our data on this side of the pond since this is an EU law. Regardless, it's a step in the right direction for how these companies gather and use your data, which hopefully closes some loopholes that existed before where your data could be compromised or mishandled in ways you probably wouldn't be too happy with.
No.
So, thanks Europe.
Yeah.
Not for all that spam that we're getting, but for holding companies accountable and potentially blazing the trail for future laws that could be written here. And I mean, who are we kidding?
No.
Ajit Pai probably has something up his sleeve for this pesky law because it's bad for business or something. It's ruining
We need
competition.
light touch privacy policy. The old way of doing things. Okay, so now that the privacy policy thing is out of the way, let's talk movie news. You all sound very excited for this. The Thursday night numbers are in for Solo, A Star Wars Story, and I'll be damned if I wasn't right about my prediction made early last week when I placed a perfectly legal bet that Deadpool 2 would beat Solo in box office numbers for its early screenings. I was a bit defeated when I saw that it didn't beat the opening weekend box office numbers laid out by the original film, but the bet was that Deadpool 2 would beat Solo on Thursday and maybe Friday. Well, read it and weep, Star Wars dorks. Solo pulled in $14.1 million on Thursday night, which is a hell of a lot of money, but still couldn't touch the Thursday night pull for Deadpool 2, which was able to secure $18.6 million. Damn, I'm good. Nailed it.
Gets tired being right all the time.
Uh-huh.
The Solo, a Star Wars story, is still dealing with a pretty lukewarm reception from fans and critics, at least compared to the other films in the franchise, but nevertheless, it is a Star War. So it's going to crush at the box office, especially over this long holiday weekend. Now this film's out of the way, there's also news about what's coming next for the Star Wars universe. If you're not entirely burnt out by now, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Last week we spoke about how Kathleen Kennedy had gone on record saying there would be a standalone movie dedicated to Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian. And now they've announced another standalone film dedicated to one character, and it's one that people have been interested in for a long, long time simply based on his fucking helmet, Boba Fett.
He flies too.
You saw him fall in the pit. Now see what happened before that.
Yeah. So this news comes from The Hollywood Reporter, which states that they've already lined up a writer/director for the project, which sets this film off on an incredibly good start as they've locked down James Mangold to helm the project. If that name sounds familiar, yeah, it's because he's the guy behind films like Girl Interrupted, 3:10 to Yuma, Walk the Line, but you didn't see any of those, but you did see a little film called Logan, and it was great. I mean, yeah, you might not have seen his other work. Logan was absolutely phenomenal. Not that Logan, Wolverine Logan, not Logan Paul.
Oh, the good one.
Yeah. So that alone gives us pretty high hopes for what he'll be able to pull off with a Boba Fett film, as long as Disney gives him enough freedom and doesn't end up pulling him from the project because he turns it into a gritty and violent hard R Star Wars film, although that would be awesome.
Never gonna happen.
He'll be joined by co-writer Simon Kinberg, who's famous for the X-Men films, as well as his work on Logan, which he co-wrote with Mangold, so they're teaming up again for Boba Fett. All things considered, it's a great move for Lucasfilm. We hope it pays off because it's actually something we'd be excited to see. But nope, 8 months in, they're gonna pull him off the project.
Yeah.
And they're gonna put that dude from Happy Days on it.
I can't wait so with Solo,
Yeah.
they put Han Solo on a red Solo cup.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to take over like Boba tea
Yeah.
with Boba Fett. You get like a big old helmet with the bubble tea in it, and you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great ad campaign.
Yeah. In other huge film confirmations, it's finally double confirmed that Danny Boyle will be directing the next James Bond film. And there's also a date set for its release, November 8th, 2019. In a statement, the production company Eon had this to say: "We are delighted to announce that the exceptionally talented Danny Boyle will be directing Daniel Craig in his 5th outing as James Bond, and in the 25th installment of the franchise, we will begin shooting Bond 25 at Pinewood Studios in December." Also confirmed is, once again, Daniel Craig. He will be playing the role of James Bond, despite saying in previous interviews in no uncertain terms that he'd rather kill himself than play that role again. Sounds like he had the gun to his head and he was like, nah, I think I'll just do it.
What would you do for $100 million? Well, I either play Fortnite or I do another Bond film.
Yeah, he was holding the toaster over the bath. He's like, okay, this is a bit extreme. I'll do another Bond.
Didn't he say he would like slice his wrists or something like that?
He really did not.
In no uncertain terms, he said he would kill himself.
He did not enjoy Spectre, and you know what? Neither did I.
Yeah.
Speaking of not so fun productions, even though we're getting a new 5th season of Arrested Development, there's been some drama regarding the cast this week while they were out promoting the new season of the show. During an interview with the failing New York Times, Jessica Walter, aka Lucille Bluth, discussed an incident on set where Jeffrey Tambor blew up on her, yelled at her, whatever. Obviously, you've already heard about the accusations against Jeffrey Tambor regarding the whole sexual harassment on the set of Transparent thing that caused him to lose his job. And while this wasn't related to anything sexual, it was a big problem, one that she admitted to reconciling with, saying, I have to let go of being angry with him, well, like crying, tearing up during the discussion, adding, in almost 60 years of working, I've never had anybody yell at me like that on a set, and it's hard to deal with, but I'm over it now.
The bigger problems seemed to arise when Jason Bateman started to continuously interject in an attempt to explain his on-set behavior and try to downplay it or justify it, and said that this work, quote, is a breeding ground for atypical behavior and certain people have certain processes, and that it, quote, happens all the time. She wasn't very happy about that. Neither was the actress that plays Maybe. After the interview, which included audio of the interaction, was posted online and had a lot of negative response to it.
Oh my gosh.
Bateman issued an apology via Twitter saying this.
Based on listening to the New York Times interview and hearing people's thoughts online, I realize I was wrong here. I sound like I'm condoning yelling at work. I do not. It sounds like I'm excusing Jeffrey. I do not. It sounds like I'm insensitive to Jessica. I am not. In fact, I'm horrified that I wasn't more aware of how this incident affected her. I was so eager to let Jeffrey know that he was supported in his attempt to learn, grow, and apologize that I completely underestimated the feelings of the victim, another person I deeply love. And she was sitting right there. I'm incredibly embarrassed and deeply sorry to have done this to Jessica. This is a big learning moment for me. I shouldn't have tried so hard to mansplain or fix a fight or make everything okay. I should have focused more on what the most important part of it all is. There's never any excuse for abuse in any form from any gender, and the victim's voice needs to be heard and respected, period. I didn't say that, instead said a bunch of other stuff and not very well.
Yeah.
In the wake of that, Netflix has just gone and canceled the entire UK press tour that was scheduled leading up to the release of the new season on May 29th.
They got enough free promo from all this drama.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad news, right? Oh, wait, maybe there is.
But we're not done yet with Not So Fun Productions, because with all the hype surrounding the release of Solo hitting theaters this weekend, you might not have been aware of another movie that's currently making the rounds nationwide. A movie called Show Dogs. Yeah, it's a movie where coincidentally, it stars Will Arnett from Arrested Development, but it also stars Ludacris, and it's basically about talking dogs, one of whom is a detective or something.
Sounds delightful.
Anyway, there's apparently a scene in this film, which is for children, that features Ludacris getting his balls fondled. Okay, not Ludacris himself, but he voices the detective dog, and there's a scene where he's inspected by judges at a dog show who inspecticle his testicles, because that's what happens at a dog show.
Dog shows are weird.
No idea why they needed to hit that specific note out of accuracy, but you know what? They did the extra work. They put it in there. Anyway, people threw a fit online when they heard about the scene, with many people considering the scene to be a form of pedophile grooming, because as reported on AV Club, the dog is uncomfortable with it, but goes into a zen-like place to deal with it, and then is rewarded afterwards. It didn't need to be in the movie.
Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Anyway, the National Center on Sexual Exploitation got involved, and now the movie has cut the controversial scene entirely, but not before attempting to just explain the scene and hoping that people would understand it, because it was apparently so vital to this talking dog movie and the artistic vision behind it.
Yeah.
In a statement to Entertainment Weekly, the filmmaker said, "It has come to our attention that there have been online discussion and concerns about a particular scene in Show Dogs, a family comedy that's rated PG. The dog show judging in this film is depicted completely accurately as done at shows around the world, and it was performed by professional and highly respected dog show judges." Wait,
these weren't just your average Joe Schmoes touching these dogs' balls.
These were real balls.
Yeah.
Global Road Entertainment and the filmmakers are saddened and apologize to any parent who feels the scene sends a message other than a comedic moment in the film, with no hidden or ulterior meaning, but respect their right to react to any piece of content.
It was the high point of the movie. He got his balls touching. Ludacris didn't like it at all. Keep it in. Well, it didn't take long for them to go back on that statement completely and just cut the goddamn scene from the movie, saying in a more recent statement, responding to concerns raised by moviegoers and some specific organizations, Global Road Entertainment has decided to remove 2 scenes that some have deemed not appropriate for children. The company takes these matters very seriously and remains committed to providing quality entertainment for the intended audiences based on the film's rating. We apologize to anybody who feels the original version of Show Dogs sent an inappropriate message. They really wanted that testicle inspection scene in this movie.
Gotta have the testicle shot.
What do you mean they want that cut? It's the best part. Well, we do look forward to this being potentially the first modern PG movie to have an unrated version released in stores that resembles American Pie marketing tactics, because that would be just wonderful at Walmart. I mean, do you want Show Dogs, or do you want Show Dogs uncut, unrated? You wanted the ball scene, you got it.
Yeah.
Moving on to trailers this week, we have 2 new trailers for you. The first one is Christopher Robin, and yeah, it's the Winnie the Pooh movie. But
Winnie the Pooh's real.
And in this one, it is, from what I see in the trailers, just a exact plot copy of the movie Hook.
Yeah.
Where Christopher Robin's like, I'm old, I got a job, I got things to do, I've lost the magic in my life, my wife and kid, I'm not there for them. And then to the rescue, my old pals from Fantasyland.
Yeah.
To show me that it's not all about hard work and stuff like that.
Sometimes it's about putting a big old bowl of honey all over your face.
They do make that joke. He's too big to get through the tree into the 100-acre woods, and then Pooh's like, "Did you just have some honey?" It's adorable.
Yeah, I mean, Cool.
Christopher Robin comes out on August 3rd, and I could sit and listen to Pooh talk all day.
He has a very comforting ASMR voice. I don't know what it is about it.
They're gonna get some reports online about Piglet though, because he's got a stutter and it's ableist. So
Does Piglet have a stutter?
in the trailer he does.
Pig?
I know.
Well, Tigger is clearly he has a learning disability.
Yeah. He's bipolar. He's got ADD. He's all over the place.
Yeah. Next in trailers, Won't You Be My Neighbor? So we've talked about this before. It's a documentary about Mr. Rogers that looks like it's gonna make all the people in the audience cry.
Yes.
Because Mr. Rogers was apparently a genuinely, just a totally decent, good human being.
If you're a Christian, realistically, we probably already had the second coming of Christ, and we just completely missed it.
Yeah. We gave him a kid's show, but we didn't listen.
Yeah. We never listened.
But this features a bunch of like previously unseen footage, and
The reviews are great. It says that it's probably going to be the greatest documentary of all time. I'm sure
they
the
say
reviews
that
are
with
gonna be-
every documentary.
I'm sure the reviews are going to be insane. I am very, very excited. for
Look,
this
it was
movie.
heartwarming, it was great, but it was no King of Kong.
I am excited to see how Tom Hanks is going to make himself look like Mr. Rogers in the movie that comes after this one. The actual like biopic.
Yeah.
So that'll be weird. Anyways, that's it for News Dump this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. I'm twitch.tv/It's Ricky for the win. I'm going to be battling it out on Dark Souls this weekend.
Oof.
Yeah.
Fuck me up, fam.
Yeah.
I'm twitch.tv/ElliottETC, and be playing some Witcher 3 and maybe a little bit of BattleTech.
Ooh, the mech game for mechers. Mech boys.
I'm a mech boy.
Yeah. Watched 2 new episodes over here. We have a brand new episode of Weekly Weird News and also a brand new episode of Tech News Day. Check both of those out. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Probably no live stream Monday because it's Memorial Day.